Hello everybody, and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. This is another episode of First Appearance of the Week. This is Wednesday, June 5th, 2024. We'll be giving you all the first appearance in your comic shops today. Now this week we have a pretty good lineup for you guys. I think we have 2 first appearances, 6 honorable mentions, so 8 titles in all to go through. There's definitely some books in there worth picking up for your collection. So let's go ahead and get started for the first appearance of the week ending June 7th, 2024. First up from Marvel Comics, Amazing Spider-Man number 51. This features a first full appearance of Spider-Goblin. Now, we mention this all the time with these Spider-Man titles. It's always worth picking up the first appearance of new characters in the Spider-Man titles, especially the Amazing Spider-Man title series. You know, we really don't know much about the Spider-Goblin character at this point, but if history's any guide, anytime there's a new character introduced into the Spider-Man universe, these are books collectors do want, and these are books you definitely want to pick up at the cover price. So this is one we do think you should pick up for your collection. Go ahead and grab this one. And lastly, from Marvel Comics, Blood Hunters number 2. This features the first appearance of Dante. Now, we mentioned this before with these Blood Hunt titles. This is a specific story arc. This is a mini-series that Marvel's putting out. They are introducing a lot of characters into this particular storyline, but it really depends on what they have planned for these characters going forward. If these characters just appear in the Blood Hunt series and they go nowhere after that, then these characters probably aren't going to be all that important. But if Marvel actually introduces the characters into the Marvel Universe proper, brings them across all the storylines or the story arcs, brings them onto a small screen big screen project, then you got a big winner here. So this one here is going to be a little more speculative because, like I said, you are specking on Marvel doing something with this character after this Blood Hunt series is over. Now, if they don't do anything with this character after this particular series, then this is one you can probably skip on. But, you won't really know that until the future. So in our opinion, this is a great spec, for the cover price. You can't really go wrong here. If it takes off, you got a winner here. If it goes nowhere, you're out a few dollars. So grab this one here for a spec if you can. If you can't, put it in your B-list and take a look at it later on. And now for the honorable mentions. From Oni, Cult of Lamb number 1. This is a limited series inspired by the video game of the same name that explores the backstory of the Lamb. Now, we typically put these video game-based comics on the list because the video game-based comics are typically short printed. There's not a big sell-through rate when they actually hit the shelf. A lot of people don't pick these up, but they have the potential to become huge later on. If you look at some of the more popular games that have come out over the past 20 years and the comic series that have been adapted to them, some of those comic books, they go for thousands of dollars in high grade. So these are always worth specking on in our opinion. Like we mentioned before, $3 or $4, you could be selling a huge winner here. If it goes nowhere, you're out a couple of dollars. In our opinion, the risk is worth a reward on these video game adopted comics. So this is one we do think you should pick up for a spec if you can. If you can't, then put in your B-list, but definitely keep an eye on this one. Next up from Image Comics, Falling in Love on the Path to Hell number 1. Destined lovers, a gunslinger and a samurai, are mortally wounded a world apart and awake together in a purgatory, ruled by a ruthless society of damned warriors. Now, Image Comics has had a lot of their titles picked up in option for small screen and big screen projects in the past, and this particular story sounds like it can lend itself very well to one of these projects. With these small press and indie publishers, if they get picked up an option, that's a huge price driver for them. And like I said, Image Comics has had a track record of getting a lot of their titles optioned. So this one here, like I said, translates easily to the screen. Sounds like it could be a great action, adventure, love story. So this one here, we do think it's a good spec. Grab it for a spec if you can. If you can't, put in your B-list and take a look at it later on. Next up from Mad Cave, The Mammoth number 1. 4 scientists investigate a bizarre series of seismic activities in a forest valley that legend claims is the work of a monstrous phantom that disappears for decades at a time. Now, Mad Cave has had some attention on their titles in the past. They haven't had a lot of picked up an option for small screen, big screen projects, but they are getting more attention from Hollywood. And we mentioned this in previous videos. When Hollywood actually picks up one of these small press publishers that they have a story here they want to adapt, they do typically go back into the back catalog and see if there's any other stories they have that they can adopt to the screen. But this one here, like I said, does sound like it lends itself very well to a TV show, streaming series, or a feature film. Once again, will be speculative if you choose to pick it up. Maybe worth doing so for the cover price. Grab it for a spec if you can. If you can't, put in your B-list and take a look at it later on. Next up from Boom Comics, Profane number 1. A Los Angeles private investigator's latest case leads him to a world-famous crime novelist and dangerous truths about his own life. Now, once again, sounds like it lends itself very well to a small screen, big screen project, and Boom Comics has had a lot of their titles picked up an option in the past. So once again, will be speculative, but it may be worth specking on for the cover price. This is another one we think you should spec on if you can. If you can't, though, put it in your B-list and take a look at it later on. Next up from IDW, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Alpha number 1. This is a one-shot that examines the effects of a world without the Turtles. Now this year is going to be the prequel story to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series written by Jason Aaron. The fact that they're actually relaunching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series after so many years, that's a huge deal. You definitely want to get issue number 1 when that actually relaunches. And this one here is the prequel to that story. So this is another one we do think you should pick up. Now this one here, it really depends on what they introduce in this comic. If they bring in new characters, or if they go into any origin stories, or if they actually put something in the comic here that we're going to need for the new series. This is one you definitely want to own. You know, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, huge franchise, huge collector base, huge fan base. Now this one here isn't the start of that new series. This is just a one-shot. Like I said, this is a prequel to that series. So this is one we do think you should pick up for your collection. Go ahead and grab this one. And finally, from Marvel Comics, Ultimates number 1. This is the premiere issue of this Ultimates title series. This features a new Ultimates roster: Iron Lad, Captain America, Doom, Thor, and Sif. Now, as you guys know, this Ultimates title series has been incredibly popular with fans and collectors. You know, the Ultimate Spider-Man number 1, the Black Panther number 1, these are huge books in the secondary market. Now this one here may not get as big as some of those other titles in this Ultimates universe, but you know, still worth owning this premiere issue. You know, for $3 or $4, you could be set on a huge winner here if this goes somewhere. So in our opinion, this is one that's definitely worth picking up for your collection. Go ahead and grab this one. So there you have the 8 titles we have for you guys this week. There's definitely some books in there worth picking up for your collection. So please feel free to drop some comments in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you like this video. And as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Certified Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.